Hey guys, I'm sitting in front of my makeup table because today I'm going to do the makeup tag, combining two of my favorite things, makeup and books. Talking about makeup takes me a long time, so combining two of my favorite things, this video might be long. I'll probably edit a lot of it. Here we go. Let's just get into it. Let's get into the thing. So the first thing I like to do before I put on my makeup is wash my face. So when I wake up in the morning, I like to use a nice light cleanser with a toner. If you really take care of your skin, I know everybody says it, if you take care of your skin, the makeup is just going to look better. Question one is primer, and I haven't found my holy grail primer yet, but in my Sephora Play box last month, it came with the Cover FX Illuminating Primer. This gives a nice little glow, so I'll use this today. So, primer is on. Pick a book that left a lasting impression. Elizabeth Gilbert, I guess, just gets to my heartstrings. I mean, Eat, Pray, Love is one of those that I think about a lot, but really big magic, being a creative person, being a writer, being a songwriter. I mean, it's like a big pressure you put on yourself being a creative person, and Big Magic really changed my philosophy on creativity. If you haven't read that and you're a creative person, you should read it. It helps with taking a lot of the pressure off of you and saying, these are not your ideas. These are ideas that come to you and use you as a vessel to procure that creative outlook. And I think just thinking of creativity in that way has changed my mindset, and I don't put as much pressure on myself to create this outstanding work. So Big Magic, I recommend it to everyone. I mean, a lot of my friends are musicians, creative people, writers. Even if it's something you have to tell yourself to take some of that pressure off. Such a good book. So, number two, foundation, which is my favorite part. So I am using Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. I do get very dry in the winter around, and I get some dry patches, so I like more of a water-based foundation. But this one's really nice and thin. It's very buildable, and I love applying foundation. It has a little dropper here. Yeah, I'm definitely running out. Sad day for me. In the winters when I get really dry, I like to add in a little Josie Maran argan oil to my foundation. Just on those days, you have to listen to your skin. I like to use it with a beauty blender, but I have found the Real Techniques sponge I like a whole lot, and you're not spending $20 every time. And if you have a dog that ends up chewing sponges, these are $5. You can get two for 10. I think they get the job done, even though we would all love beauty blenders in our life. Probably fast forward through this because I'm just gonna be bouncing. I'm gonna just do like an everyday look, or maybe, you know, whatever I feel like. I'm going to my parents' house after this and we're just gonna hang out. I like to spend the night with my parents sometimes, because, you know, I just like home-cooked meals and waking up to cinnamon rolls, you know? I'm not really one of those that loves a full coverage foundation. I like some of my freckles showing through. So, concealer. What I am using is the Naked Skin Urban Decay Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, and I use Light Warm. I like a lighter concealer to kind of brighten up the face, and I'm using Light Sand in this foundation. I'm gonna talk about the book first because the concealer kind of dries quickly. Pick a character you wish to get rid of. Bella Swan, just, she made my heart hurt. Just being a female, a fellow female. She was just annoying to me. She was very self-pity. The beginning of New Moon was just miserable of her being depressed and having a great guy who really liked her, but she was just wanting to be depressed and moan for half that. But I almost didn't even continue with the series because New Moon just sucked so badly in the beginning. So I'm not really going to dwell on that very much, so we'll get on to the concealer. Some Pocahontas look here. I like to take the excess and go down the bridge of my nose. And we're just continuing to bounce. We're going on the forehead here. Just add a little bit of light to the forehead, down to my chin. See, I'm all bright, guys. And I look a little weird, but we're going to contour. It's going to be okay. So I'm actually going to do this next contour step. So number 12 is contour. Pick a book that could use some slimming down. I mean, there's a lot that fits this category. Game of Thrones could slim down. Outlander. Love Outlander. Just sometimes it could just definitely use a slim down. And I would say I love me some Stephen King, but I feel like he's getting to the point where he's really not editing anything out because he is Stephen King. And I've been trying to read 11/22/63 because I loved that mini series. But it's long. I love Stephen King, okay? Just saying. So we're going to do a little bit of contour. It's not really contouring, I'm just kind of bronzing, which is a part of the contouring process if you know. I like to add a little glow and then put more glow on after because that's how I roll. Using all of my liquid products first before I set it. Powder, and then I'll go back and do my contour, but powder, I like to use the RCMA No Color Powder. I just find that I really like this and I haven't really branched out. If you just use like a Prego lid and you put it in there and use a fluffy elf brush, done. This won't make you look cakey if you use a nice setting spray. So now that I have my powder, let's see this question. Pick your least favorite book in a series. Which there's a lot of series that start to fall flat near the end. Like Discovering of Witches, that second book just, I couldn't even really finish it. The first book was so exciting, and I don't know, the second one. My most recent would probably be the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The first one I loved. The third one, I thought it really was lackluster. And it could have gone really cool places, and I don't know. I don't say I hated it. I finished it, but it wasn't everything that I wanted it to be. And the third Hunger Games, I felt like fell flat for me. I couldn't really even finish it. It's probably unpopular, but since I read it the trilogy most recently, probably the third Peregrine's book. Let's see, eyebrows. A book you think everyone should read. Big Magic, I always recommend to everybody. Eat, Pray, Love. There's a lot of things in there that lingers with me. One of the big books that I think everyone should read is The 5 Love Languages. What's his name? Gary D. Chapman. Because that really helped my relationship. It works in the workplace too. Me working in HR, understanding how people receive validation. And I know it's a little bit different at work than in your, relationship. But it does work in all aspects of life. And I feel like it saved my relationship. Not that it was horrible, but he and I have very different love languages, and once we found out we weren't feeling each other's love, and after reading that book together, we were way more aware of, because I'm more of a gift giving and he is words of affirmation, and I need to do better at that, and he needed to do, I just like surprises, and so he's been, surprising me more, and that makes me want to validate his love as well. And I think the 5 Love Languages is a game changer for relationships. It sounds so simple and his theory is so logical. I feel like our relationship completely changed after reading that book. It works with friends. I have friends that are gift giving, and so I always surprise them, and we just truly feel each other's friendship. I kind of did, a basic of my eyebrows, but pretty much what I use, which, I love the Anastasia products. They're great. The pomade, the Brow Wiz is great, but I found, a $7 alternative because I use them a lot. Brow Stylist Definer by L'Oreal. $7, $7.99 if you will. But it's a lot like the Brow Wiz. It has a nice crayon tip. I normally do my eyebrows after my eyeshadow, but the tag made me do it. But eyebrows, so important to your face. And when people don't fill in their eyebrows, I question them as people. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Benefit has nice brow products as well. They just came out with their line. What's next? Eyeshadow. Pick a book that has your favorite colors on it. This is just my color scheme. It's so pretty. You have the white, purple, and blue. This is me. But if I had to pick a book that just is me in a nutshell, is The Signature of All Things. I mean, I just love plants, florals, farmhouses. This, I feel like, sums me up. We're doing the eyeshadow now. I'm gonna whip out the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills because I can't put this palette down. I mentioned it in my November favorites, which I will link down below. It's my first time saying that. I love this Vermeer here. It's a great brow highlight. Pop that on there. You see, instantly. Top of the brow bone and the corners here. Kind of bring it around. Let's see where I want to go now. There's so many, so many options, so many things I could do here. I like to use this tempera right here and kind of equalize the eyelid, kind of brighten it up a little bit. Favorite combo right now is this Bonfresco, which is a nice like purple. I kind of put it all over the lid in more of the corner. Just adds a little bit of, and I mean purple is my favorite color, so it has like a nice mauve-y kind of undertone to it. So we're going to do that. I like to sweep it underneath just to add a little dimension here. Oh my goodness, I haven't contoured yet. What am I doing with my life? I think I'm feeling some antique bronze today. Ooh, I know what I want to do. So I'm going to do some antique bronze in the corner here. Oh my goodness, I need to look at myself in the mirror here. Bring it up a little bit on that bone there. See, I'm just telling you, this eyeshadow, if you're wanting to splurge on an eyeshadow palette, You need this because literally I'm slopping it on and it just blends. They just work so well together, and you just don't really even have to put, if you get quality, I'm jumping all over the place. If you get quality makeup products, it just works for you. There's no effort involved. So I added a little bit of that antique bronze on the corners here, and then I'm gonna bring out ColourPop because I'm feeling bold today. But this is this is one of Kathleen Light's. It's called Weenie, but it's a rose gold, and you just kind of put that on your lid. Don't mind my nails right now, you know. I'm rocking the no nail polish look here. But you just add that with your finger. I just feel like the best results with these are with your finger. Add a little nice rose gold touch. You can do a little bit on that waterline there. Okay. See, makeup doesn't have to be a long ordeal. You know, you get the right products and you throw them on and they work for you. We did a nice bronzy rose gold look, and I'm wearing a rose gold necklace. How did I know? How did I know? Next is eyeliner. Pick a dark and mysterious book. I think the most recent book that terrified me was Stephen King's It. I was listening to the audiobook because the audiobook was amazing. I was reading Stephen King It, having some trouble sleeping because it's pretty scary. I was walking the dog in my parents' neighborhood, and there's a grate on the corner, you know, a big grate that you could look through to the bottom. And I don't know if you've read Stephen King It, but pretty much he lures children in by a red ball in a grate. Kid you not, this is real, and I wish I would have taken a picture of it or videoed it or something. I'm literally listening to the audiobook as I'm walking the dogs. And in that grate in the corner, there's a red ball, and I lost it. I ran, flipped my headphones off. No. Just no, I couldn't finish it. Couldn't finish it after that. No. Damn you, Stephen King. I need to finish it. Maybe. What's next? Eyeliner. I don't really do eyeliner. I just got eyelash extensions. I had my appointment this morning, and you really don't need eyeliner with eyelash extensions. If you guys want to know more about eyelash extensions, I love them. But if I am going to use, I got this sample in the Sephora Play. I don't know how much more. I will link my Sephora Play video at the bottom. I love Sephora Play. It came with the Kat Von D tattoo liner. She has a brush version. She has a felt tip. I don't really feel like doing a wing today, but this would be my eyeliner of choice. I also think if you want a cheaper alternative, the L'Oreal Super Slim Infallible felt tip as well. Can't go wrong with that. I think it's like $7 too. Next question is mascara. Pick a long ass book. So this isn't really like so long. I think more this is just so dense, but I actually really enjoy this because I love Thomas Jefferson and I love learning about presidents. Fun fact about me, I love American history. It's more that this is just a lot of information, so it feels so long, and I take breaks in between, but I think that the author does a really great job. Who is it? Joan McCam. He did Thomas Jefferson, The Art of Power, and it's a beautiful bronze. I mean, they just know the way to my heart. And I live in this country, so I need to know about it. You know what I'm saying? Mascara. I use a lot of different mascaras. Number one being I ran out. Number one being Benefit. They're real. I've been using the Tartist Tarte, which if I buy something, I like to just finish it because I don't like to waste money. But it has kind of a similar head to the They're Real. It's not as, it doesn't move as easily, but I don't like it as much, but I'm using it because I bought it. I like the combination of Urban Decay Perversion and Better Than Sex. I think it gives you really voluminous lashes. This gives you a little bit of fallout throughout the day, which is a bummer, but I still really like this mascara. So I did my lower lash, and I think the next question is blush, so I'm just gonna go ahead and contour here because I forgot. Pretty much I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, I think that's what it is. Yeah, medium to deep matte bronzer. I like to use a matte. Sometimes I do a liquid, and I like the Maybelline Fit Me in a bronze shade if I'm feeling, you know, in the summers I like to do liquid. This is the e.l.f. contour brush. I don't know. It does. It works. So I like to bring it in a little bit. Got to make the duck face a little bit so you can get in there. But it just makes a difference. It does. So I like to go a little under the chin. Up in there. You want to go in the upper temples to kind of And then you can snatch the nose a little bit right there. Just a little bit on the corners. Boom. It smells like chocolate. You know? I don't know what more you want. Like the Too Faced chocolate bar palettes are made from real cocoa. Anytime you open it up, oh, I am female and I love chocolates. So then I'm going to add a little bronzer, and I really like the drugstore Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It just works for me, and it smells like pina coladas. And it just adds a little bit of gold shine, not shimmer. There's no glitter. It adds a sheen that I really like. I don't like glittery bronzers. So you add a little bit there and a little bit there. So now we are getting to the blush, which the blush that I use every day, I have a few different kinds, but this one I just use every day because I like more pinky blushes. But it is the Too Faced Justify My Love. And it's a freaking heart. So cute. So pick a book that had some cringe-worthy romance, and 50 Shades of Grey. Like, no. I'm not into that. I would say if I could do without a character. Another female character that I just highly disliked was Anastasia, or Anastasia, whatever you say her name. She was annoying and boring. Like, not that you have to, you know, you're boring for not drinking or not having relationships by 22 or in college. How old was she? I don't know. She was like out of college or like in college, finishing college, and hadn't had a drink or really dated people. Not that that makes you cool or interesting. She was annoying. She didn't really do anything for me. And he had some problems. He was controlling. It was like borderline abuse. I hated that. I hated it. The sex scenes did nothing for me. I mean, Outlander, if you want some good lovin', Outlander has some good lovin', okay? There's some scenes in there, but there was one that was like, nope, done. Wasn't this scene, but that contract though, I was listening to the audio book of that, which the audio book was a drip too. And I was getting angry because it was like, do you want to do this? Are you okay with this? Are you okay with this? And I was like, no, 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 F no. I was getting angry. Like all of them I was saying no to. I mean, maybe to get a Chanel purse, maybe I'll do it for like a week. Give me a car, give me an apartment, a Chanel purse, and then I'll be done. That would be the only reason. Did not like Christian Grey, borderline abusive, and she hadn't been with anybody else, so she didn't know any different, you know? That's why I didn't like it. Felt like he was taking advantage of her, and I know, like, I mean, spoilers here, like, I know that he had that same similar situation when he was growing up, but it's just weird. And they're making a second movie of it now. Like, that's soft porn. I'm gonna stop. But that scene when he breaks into her apartment when she has like a freaking final the next morning. How rude. She didn't even tell him where he stalked her, knew where she lived. She had a final the next morning. He snuck into her apartment, tied her up, and forced champagne into her mouth. But not just like putting champagne into her mouth. He spit champagne into her mouth, and that was her first experience drinking. No. He was not attracted. I dislike that book. I don't know if you can tell. I just disliked it. This is not a turn on to me. Anyway, let's get into highlighters. It'll save my life. Okay, highlighters changed my life. I used a few different here. Becca, Opal. You just can't go wrong with Becca highlighters. They're just creamy, buttery. I got this Jaclyn Hill Becca palette, and it has her Champagne Pop, Prosecco Pop, and nice little blush colors here. And sometimes, you know, you just want some Champagne Pop in your life. I wonder how she feels, Jaclyn, you know, like when she's older, and be like, what is your proudest achievement? And be like, Champagne Pop. They wouldn't know what she's talking about, but I would. Use a Real Techniques brush, and we're gonna put on that highlight a little bit, you know? During the day, I like to, you know, be incognito and not do, you know, tons, but some days, you know, I like to, you know, make an appearance when I'm entering a room. And what's great about highlighters is if you're feeling like your foundation is a little cakey, or you feel like you put on a little bit too much, and for me, having dry skin, sometimes I get matte. With a highlighter, you get a little bit of that dewy finish, and that's why I love highlighters. Love them. Changed my life. Pick a book that brightened your day. I could say Harry Potter to all of these. I mean, Harry Potter, nostalgic. Nancy Drew, nostalgic. Anytime I look at a Nancy Drew book. Reminds me of my grandma, which, speaking of, one of the first books my grandma read as a child, and she would read them to me. And I have 2 of her original 1930s Nancy Drew books. These bring me so much joy. I don't open them. They are for display only because it's so brittle. They're so brittle. But I love, these bring me so much joy because my grandmother brings me so much joy. I need to learn how to preserve them better. I just have them on a bookshelf. So those brighten my day and I love collecting them. So we're gonna talk about lipstick, which I like to do a lip scrub, which I used to work at Lush, but the bubblegum lip scrub. And you can just eat it. It's sugar. To get your lips prepped, I like liquid lipsticks because they stay on all day. Do the Sephora cream lip stain, the number 6, and it's a nice pink. They just came out with tons of new colors, so and they dry down really quickly and they stay matte. That was my makeup tag, and this is just kind of a everyday makeup. To some people this may be a lot of makeup, but this would be my everyday going to work makeup. I feel like I got distracted in the makeup and I wasn't answering all the questions, but you know. But this is my makeup tag, combining 2 of my favorite things, makeup and books. If you love makeup too, then you should do this tag because this was really fun. So thank you so much for watching.